Welcome to my first folio critique for the Eye Society. A folio critique will actually consist of 10 images representative of a wedding coverage. We have a really cool shot of a groom to start off our folio critique. There is a beautiful quality of light illuminating the groom's face. It chisels his jawline and sharpens his cheekbones. I can even see the catch lights in the groom's eyes, which give his eyes that ping that we're all looking for. I do like the groom's position in the frame, and I do like the negative space. The more I look at it though, I feel like I need to crop a little bit closer. Let me try that. See, for me, I believe the negative space should normally be behind where the actual subject is facing, not in front. It adds a little mystery to not know where the groom is facing. The negative space behind him adds a little mystery. The groom's black suit contrasting with the red background is very nice. It's very nice. Great success. If you have ever photographed a groom's coverage before, you have bound to photograph the groom in a pose like this, almost like the Godfather, with his bodyguards behind him. With all due respect to the photographer, this is one of the better shots of this style of portrait that I've seen. I think it's important with this style of image that we pose everything perfectly symmetrically, which of course the photographer has done. If this image wasn't perfectly posed symmetrically, we would deem it as a mistake. I believe what lessens the drama and the mystery of this shot is seeing the context of which the guys are standing and the groom is sitting. Watch what happens when I crop closer and I remove the identity of the guys in the background. It adds so much more mystery and it elevates the importance of the groom. If I were the photographer, I'd also vignette this image and make it a lot more darker and moodier and perhaps add a little bit of grain or noise. I think this is a classic case where the photographer has chosen a location above great lighting. I love the shallow depth of field here. I do believe though that photographer could have gone even shallower, perhaps at 2.8. Lighting is the absolute key to beautiful photography. The bride's arm looks a little bit awkward. It would have looked a lot more comfortable if she'd rested on the banister. It's very important that we separate the arm from her body. It will make her arm and body look slimmer. Also, pushing the shoulder back will eliminate that little bit of skin that hangs over the dress that we all try to avoid. I think I'd like to try this image cropped a little bit closer. Let me try it. For me, there's less distraction and makes the image a lot more powerful. I love using artificial light to illuminate my subjects. It's great how the photographer used an ordinary lamp to illuminate the bride. Her posture and expression don't seem to match the moodiness of the lighting. The fact that her chin is down is causing those raccoon eyes or those shadows underneath her eyelids. I would have liked to seen her lean back, with her chin up so the light illuminates her eyes. I would have liked to appear away from the camera, adding a little mystery to this image. I'd also like to crop this image a touch closer to eliminate the distraction on the left-hand side. I applaud the photographer in finding a different quality of light source. Perhaps next time let's just use it in more of an effective way. Shooting in harsh sunlight is difficult at the best of times. No amount of fill flash could correct this image. Having the bride and the bridesmaids facing the bridesmaid on the left actually gives her more prominence than the bride. It's a cute shot of the bride with her bridesmaids, very saleable I'm sure, but not the best lighting. I love the warmth in this shot. I love the semi-silhouette and the hint of all those suitcases towards the right. I think we're showing too much though. I'd like to crop in a little bit closer. That works much better. Let me just try flipping this for a second. Yeah, I love that. That works so much better as well. Let's just have a look again. Before. After. Yeah, gorgeous. What a beautiful quality of light illuminating through that stained glass window. It's either afternoon sunlight or the photographer deliberately has shone a video light or some kind of ambient light through that window. Whatever it is, it's great how the photographer recognized it or created it. Let me crop a little bit closer to see how it looks. It's so much more mysterious and dramatic when I crop closer. Again, we have to be very careful in not having the bride's arm too close to her body. Let's allow some breathing space between her body and her arm and push that shoulder back. I'm not convinced by the bride's expression. I think she looks a little startled. When I have a bride who looks a little bit starry-eyed, what I ask her to do is, I say, work your way to a squint, and it softens the eyes. You'll be amazed. I can see that the yellow door attracted the photographer to actually photograph here in the first place. And I also think there's too much information in the frame. I'd like to see what this image looks like if I crop a little closer. Yeah, I like it better. Let me just go back for a second. No, I think I like it cropped closer. Just in case you're wondering, none of these images have been worked in Photoshop. They are straight out of the camera. I love shooting night shots. It looks like here the photographer actually used video light, and the more I look at it, it looks like perhaps the white balance was changed to tungsten. So what happens is daylight turns blue. It gives the sky a deeper and more dramatic feel. I really do feel the love between the bride and groom in this kiss. What I'm distracted by is the groom's nose almost touching the bride's eye. For some reason, when we ask the bride and groom to kiss, they always kiss with the groom's nose on the outside. I believe when you ask a bride and groom to kiss, the bride should be on the outside, be more visible. It's a lot more romantic and a lot softer. I believe the bride's hands and arms aren't matching the romance in her face. She could have been holding the groom's face close towards her, or perhaps hugging the groom underneath his armpits and really drawing the groom close to her. That being said, let me crop this image a little bit closer. Much better. It really draws our attention into the romance of that kiss. Great use of light, very clever in using that car rear window light as a light source to illuminate the bride and groom. Once again, we see the groom's nose on the outside. Now you might say there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm seeing most of the bride's face illuminated, and then I don't see her nose. It's a little distracting. Although the kiss looks believable, their body language is a little bit flat. Let me try just cropping that little bit closer and bringing their faces towards the left-hand side. Again, yes, love that. I hope you've enjoyed the folio critique. I congratulate the photographer on a solid body of work. With a little refinement, we can take it up a notch on the next wedding. Well done.